This global fiat currency and credit debt Ponzi scheme keeps growing and growing. And just when you think it can't grow anymore, it does. So recently, the Financial Times covered an article, and then there was a follow up article from Bloomberg that I'll also put a link to in the information and description section. So you have these emerging market governments that are selling record amounts of debt in early 2021, 191 billion in a very short amount of time, but they're not selling it in their own emerging market currencies. Investors are buying this debt in US dollars, in euros, and in Japanese yen. So it's a little surprising, but I guess people are hungry for yield and they're willing to take the risk as long as this emerging market debt is issued in those three main currencies. However, if those currencies strengthen, if there is a Brent Johnson scenario, a dollar milkshake, where the dollar were to have a rip your face off rally temporarily, we would get back to a February and March 2020 scenario again. Although the dollar index has been very weak, the Fed's balance sheet, while it has not grown a lot in the last couple weeks, it is on the launching pad ready for liftoff in the coming months, especially with record budget deficits. And I don't see any private sector demand for U.S. Treasuries. There's really a reduced amount of demand, especially for foreign governments recycling trade surpluses. So you have an enormous amount of debt issuance in this global fiat currency and credit Ponzi scheme by emerging market governments, and also junk bond issuance. And I'll put the link to that recent Bloomberg article below the video in the information and description section. This Financial Times article I was only able to get screenshots of in the last week or so. I believe it's behind a paywall. I don't think you can read it for free anymore. It might have been free on some type of free trial issue. So I just highlighted parts of it. So if you want to take a look at that, I have some of the main charts there showing the explosion in bond issuance and also some of the main highlights of the article that I highlighted in red. Finally, if you want more in-depth research and analysis, I have a lot of content behind the paywall on my Patreon. There is well over 150 articles, charts, and audio podcasts exclusively for patrons, including just in the last 10 days, there's 3 more articles out that are extensively researched, including one about the oil market that took me over 90 minutes, an update on a new merger in the gold mining space, and then also why the global macro conditions are now favorable and are tailwinds again for gold stocks, which I think gold and silver is bottom. There was a paper price smash in the last couple days on gold and silver, but it definitely looks, with demand for physical, and central banks are net buyers of physical gold again. I'll cover that in another short video, a gold and silver market update. But overall, a lot of positive news is coming out for gold and silver despite the paper price smashes. So that is only $5 a month if you want to take a look at the content behind the paywall over on my Patreon page.